If you're thinking about buying a home in Boston this year, you're in the right place. In 2025, Boston's real estate market is booming, and you definitely come across the higher home prices and fierce competition like you do in so many areas in the US right now. It can be a little bit overwhelming. So whether you're a first-time home buyer or looking to upgrade, navigating the Boston market requires some insider knowledge. So in this video, we're going to break down everything you need to know, from securing a mortgage to finding the right neighborhood to making your offer stand out. So stick around for some expert tips that will help you succeed in this fast-growing Boston real estate market. Let's dive in. Hello, future and perhaps current homeowners. Again, if you're looking to buy a home in Boston in 2025, you come to the right place. Boston is a wonderful, dynamic, vibrant city full of rich culture, history, modern conveniences, and beautiful neighborhoods, each of which seems to have its own unique characteristic. But buying a home here in 2025 can be both exciting and overwhelming. The market is competitive. Prices continue to rise. You can almost set your clock seemingly on the appreciation year after year, 3 to 5% in the greater Boston area. And there's a constant stream of new developments that is perpetually changing the landscape. But don't worry, I'm here to guide you through every step of the way of this process and help you navigate the Boston real estate market. So whether you're a first-time home buyer looking to move to a new city or perhaps looking to upgrade, this video is going to be packed with expert advice, again, to help you have success and navigate the Boston real estate market. So get comfortable, grab a seat, grab a notepad, and let's start to get into how your home buying process and your home buying journey in 2025 here in Boston can be a fruitful one. The first and most crucial step to finding a home in Boston is understanding the local market. Boston is a city full of distinct neighborhoods, each with its own unique vibe, atmosphere, and characteristics, and as a result, pricing can easily vary greatly from one area to the next. So whether you're considering a luxury condo, perhaps in the Seaport or Back Bay, or maybe something more residential, single family in Jamaica Plain perhaps, or Allston Brighton, knowing the pricing, knowing the market trends is going to be essential. Boston's market in 2025 is still hot. Many areas experiencing high demand, low inventory at times. People still coming back in the city post-pandemic. That's been going on for a couple of years now as well. So neighborhoods such as South Boston, for example, or Southie as it's known, and East Boston, which is known as, you guessed it, Eastie, have seen really rapid growth over the last couple of years thanks to new developments and new renovations. And while other areas like Beacon Hill and Back Bay still maintain their historical and traditional high demand. So to effectively navigate the Boston real estate market, start by researching the recent sales in your preferred neighborhoods. Go back like 6 months, check out the average sale price, the average price per square foot, number of days on market, how long they stay on the market. Make sure you also pay close attention to how the seasons affect those days on market. So spring and fall are going to be the busiest times of the real estate calendar. Summer and winter typically slower, and maybe an opportunity for buyers to find a home and maybe find a deal as much as you can in Boston these days, but find a home that maybe wouldn't otherwise be available in the spring or fall. So having a local real estate agent though is going to be vital, because not only are they going to help you gather data, maybe have access to more data that you would have at your fingertips with a standard internet search, but they're going to help you make sense of that data, identify the right time to act, identify the right neighborhoods that you can have success, and also negotiate the best deal, best offer on your behalf. So before you get too excited about touring homes, you need to take the most important step of the process, and that is getting pre-approved for a mortgage. Not only does this give you a clear understanding of what you can afford, where you can afford it, and where you might have the most areas of success, but any offer, serious offer in the Boston market right now is not going to be considered without some sort of pre-approval. And I can't tell you how many clients I've worked with who just want to browse and tour some homes and get to the pre-approval letter, and then they find that perfect home and they're not ready because they don't have the pre-approval. They can't put in an offer and they miss out on what they thought was their perfect home. So again, to have success, get that pre-approval. It allows you to start searching and be able to put in an offer if you do find a home that you do love. So to start the pre-approval process, you're going to gather key financial documents and information such as your tax returns, proof of income, credit history, and information about your assets and debts. Your lender is going to assess your financial situation, including your credit score, debt to income ratio, savings, assets, all those things, to determine how much you can borrow and at what rate. And while you're at it, don't settle on the first lender you talk to. Shop around. There's a kind of a misnomer out there that each lender you talk to and each time you submit for pre-approval that your credit score takes a knock. And while it is true that the first pre-approval you submit for will knock down your credit score a little bit, it will go back after a short amount of time. And you have 30 days to talk to a number of lenders to shop rates, to shop fees, to shop loan options, to shop programs, perhaps for first-time home buyers, and still only have your credit score get knocked down that one initial time. So again, make sure you're shopping and comparing to find the right lender and right mortgage situation for you. Finally, very important to not make any significant financial changes during the pre-approval process. So after you get that offer accepted and you're heading towards closing, don't take any new debt. Don't be making any large purchases or changing jobs if you can help it. These affect your ability to get approved for a loan and may even result in your pre-approval getting revoked. So if you want to buy that new car, if you want to get that large furniture set, do so, but only after you've gotten your pre-approval and you've stayed on your stable financial path, and after you've closed and the home is yours, you can go make those financial purchases, those big financial purchases. So again, getting pre-approved for that mortgage, comparing rates, and making sure that you're staying stable financially during the mortgage process, step number 2 here in having success in the Boston market. Now that you've gotten a sense of your preferred neighborhoods and you've had that pre-approval letter, it's time to start narrowing down exactly what you want in your home. Boston offers a wide variety of neighborhoods and housing options, from brownstones in Beacon Hill and Back Bay, condos in Seaport, South Boston, again, residential single-family areas like Austin Brighton or Jamaica Plain or Brookline, and everything in between. So each neighborhood offers its own unique vibe. It's essential to understand what's important to you in both the terms of your home and your current lifestyle, and perhaps long-term investment goals as well. So we're going to put together 3 lists. Your first list is your must-haves. So things like your number of bedrooms, number of bathrooms, whether you need extra space for a studio or office, backyard space for entertaining, for example. Do you need to consider amenities like being close to public transportation for a commute, or you want to be close to a playground or park, close to healthcare facilities for one reason or another? So that's one list. Next list is your nice to have. So things that you would like but aren't deal breakers. I don't know, hardwood floors, gas stoves, garage parking, or parking with enough spaces for you, 3 or 4. So things that, again, aren't going to kill your love of the house, but you would really enjoy. And lastly, the most important list, I think, is your absolutely do not want list. So I do not want a home with X, Y, or Z. I think this list can be even more important than the must-haves or the nice-to-haves. It allows you to really cross a couple potential houses or homes off the list if it has what you absolutely do not want. So it really helps focus the search as well. So once you have your criteria, once you have your budget, it's also worth keeping an open mind when it comes to exploring emerging neighborhoods. So, it's great to say I want a $500,000 condo in Back Bay with 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. That doesn't really exist. You can find maybe perhaps something similar or at the right price point with the right criteria in emerging neighborhoods like Dorchester, East Boston, or Mattapan. You may get more value for your buck, more space for your buck as well, as opposed to more traditional neighborhoods like a Back Bay or a Beacon Hill where the prices are high. And these up-and-coming neighborhoods offer great opportunities potentially for first-time homebuyers, investors, and also take into consideration that up-and-coming neighborhoods can offer not only lower prices, but higher, greater potential appreciation in your home moving forward. When it comes to buying a home in Boston, working with a knowledgeable, quality, resourceful realtor is one of the best decisions you can make. Boston's real estate market is so unique. A realtor is familiar with the uniqueness of each neighborhood, really the vast neighborhoods in Boston and the associated trends. It's just going to be an invaluable asset through the process. And a great realtor is going to do more than just show you homes. Really, any realtor can do that. But they will be your advocate. They will provide guidance every step of the way, from recommending neighborhoods that fit the criteria you're looking for, to negotiating on your behalf, to helping you understand the complex paperwork. There's a lot of paperwork involved when buying a home in Boston and in Massachusetts. No surprise there, right? A realtor is going to ensure that you're fully informed, you're communicated with, and you're feeling confident when making one of the biggest financial investments of your life. So make sure when you're choosing a realtor, you're doing your research on them as well. Do they have a solid track record of success in Boston? What are their superpowers? Maybe their superpower is negotiations. Maybe it's getting that offer accepted, or problem solving after that offer is accepted and trying to get to closing. Don't be afraid to ask about recommendations from past clients of the realtor. A well-connected agent too is also going to connect you with trusted professionals. They're going to help with the process. I'm talking about mortgage lenders, attorneys, home inspectors, to help make sure that every aspect of the home buying process goes smoothly, because there's always things that pop up. There's always something that goes on during the home buying transaction. How are you going to overcome those obstacles? How are you going to overcome those hurdles? And how are you going to make this journey as smooth as possible and get your way to closing? A trusted realtor will help. Listen, Boston's housing market is fast moving, and the best properties, desirable homes in desirable neighborhoods are still moving quickly, still selling quickly, sometimes within just days of going to market. So to stay competitive, you need to be able to act quickly when you find a home that fits your needs and budgets. In some cases, depending on offer deadlines, yes, offer deadlines are still very much happening in 2025 here in Boston. You may need to put in an offer the same day you see that home for the first time. But before you begin touring homes, again, have your financing in place, have that pre-approval letter, and have a serious and long talk about your budget and knowing your maximum offer price. This will help you make quick decisions and avoid missing out on opportunities. Also, it's just going to keep you financially grounded when you go through the offer process, knowing where you can offer and how far you can go if need be. So knowing your floor and ceiling, really on both sides of things. Your realtor is going to help you craft a strong offer, competitive offer, perhaps with different levels of the deposit, depending which contingencies you want to include. And it's a great way to help stand out, but it's also going to make sure that your offer is financially sound. So do the work to avoid overextending yourself. Do the work ahead of time to avoid overextending yourself and knowing what your ceiling might be for an offer. In a competitive market, being able to act fast can be the difference. But don't worry if you don't find the right home or the perfect home right away. I guarantee there will be more properties coming to market in the future. That dream house that you perhaps missed out on is not the last home that's ever going to come to market in Boston. I do say every offer submitted is a lesson that you can build on as you go through the rest of your home search. But keep an open line of communication with your realtor, stay flexible, and just be ready when the opportunity presents itself for your right home. While buying a home, it's easy to think about the here and now, the immediate future, but it's also crucial to think about beyond your current needs and consider the long-term value and investment of your home. So real estate isn't just about finding a place to live. I mean, it is about finding a place to live, but it's also about an investment in your future and building that equity over the years through home ownership. And the goal is to find a property that will grow in value over time, of course. That means paying attention to several factors that influence appreciation. Now, we mentioned earlier, the Boston market has had good appreciation for years and years, even decades, save for the 2008 national housing crisis when appreciation clearly dropped. But we mentioned earlier, you can really set your clock or your watch almost seemingly to the appreciation in Boston, 3 to 5% year after year after year. Location is going to be the key for finding those properties that have even perhaps better appreciation and growth in value. Properties in neighborhoods with good schools, close to public transportation, a lot of amenities, restaurants, bars, so forth, stores, retail space, they tend to appreciate fast. If you're buying in new developments or recently revitalized neighborhoods like Dorchester or South Boston or East Boston, you could see a significant increase in appreciation over the next couple of years. But beyond location, you also perhaps want to think about potential for renovations and upgrades. If you're open to doing some work, purchasing a fixer-upper in a desirable neighborhood could be an excellent investment, because while you may not have your perfect move-in ready home right away, you improve the property, you get it the way you want it to be, you build that equity. So make sure you're asking your realtor not only to help you find your current home, but perhaps identify properties that have renovation potential. They can also provide guidance on which neighborhoods are poised for growth. Again, all these factors helping you make your best and a smart financial decision. All right, home inspections. Let's talk about them, because it's one of the most important steps of the home buying process, but there's a lot of stigma attached to them as well. But home inspections, they're your chance to uncover potential problems with the home before making a commitment, really one of, if not the biggest financial commitment of your life. Thorough inspection is going to reveal serious issues like structural, foundational issues, perhaps electrical issues, mold, so on and so forth. A inspection is also going to give you a more complete picture of what's going on with the home. Maybe it's not serious issues, maybe it's a hot water heater that is 6 years old but needs to be replaced in the next 2 to 4 years, and you can start to plan to budget for things like that. So if significant issues are discovered during your home inspection, you have a few options. You can negotiate with the seller for repairs, or perhaps request a price reduction to cover the costs of anything that needs to be replaced or repaired. In some cases, if the issues are just too great or just too serious, you have the choice to walk away and avoid those serious issues and the costs associated down the line. So skipping an inspection can make the offer attractive to the seller, and that's where the stigma comes in. I'm sure you've heard this seller's market we've been in the last last couple of years here in Boston as well about waiving contingencies, waiving home inspections. I will never recommend anyone waive a home inspection. And there are ways to have a home inspection during the home buying process, either after purchase and sale or for informational purposes only, but always if you can have that home inspection for sure. That being said, it is hard to have a home inspection or at least the inspection contingency included if you find yourself in a multiple offer situation. I wish it wasn't the case. It's just kind of the way the market is right now. But whenever you have the opportunity, do have that home inspection. Do not skip that step. Buying a home in Boston is a process that requires both persistence and patience. I know I've been talking a lot about how you need to move quickly and how fast moving the Boston market is, but it truly is a marathon, not a sprint. I know it's easy to discourage if you lose a bidding war or the listings that are coming to market just aren't matching up what you're looking for, but don't get discouraged. Remember, the right home is out there for you, and each showing gone to and each open house visited is a chance to further figure out what you're looking for or maybe what you're absolutely not looking for. It's information gathered, it's knowledge gained that's going to help you through the process. The key, again, to navigating this competitive market is to stay persistent but stay flexible. So again, if you're not finding that perfect home after that first weekend of showings or a couple weekends of open houses, don't get discouraged. Adjust your criteria perhaps. You can expand your search. Again, the things you figure out during these showings will help you maybe find some new neighborhoods that you didn't initially think of or revisit some other neighborhoods that you took a look at initially but didn't quite catch your eye, but now you're thinking, oh, that could be a right or the good landing spot for me. So in many cases, those minor setbacks today are just going to prepare you for the golden opportunities to come down the road. And as always, celebrate those small wins as they come during the home buying process. Whether you locked in a great rate on your mortgage, you've been able to narrow down or really focus in your search on some top neighborhoods, or finding a house that ticks all the boxes. Every step brings you closer to your dream home. And if you're really getting frustrated, you're feeling uncertain, connect with your local realtor. They're going to be able to give you advice and guidance. Again, it's going to hopefully get you along the path and to the finish line for your dream home. They're going to provide the insights you need. So again, be patient, persistent, flexible. You're going to get there. Yet another thing to think about, a key thing to consider when buying a home in Boston is the future development of a neighborhood. While you may be focused on the here and now and the home in front of you, it's just important to consider how an area might change in the years and decades ahead. Are there any large-scale developments planned? Are there any infrastructure projects planned for your area? These developments can greatly impact the long-term value. Boston is a city that's constantly evolving and developing both outwards and upwards. In many cases, neighborhoods that were once undervalued are thriving now thanks to new projects. Think of the Seaport. The Seaport was not a thing just over a decade ago, and now it's become one of the most expensive and really sought after neighborhoods in downtown Boston. I think of West Medford as well, which recently had a new T-stop, the MBTA, the public transportation system here in Boston, a T-stop on the Green Line built and developed in West Medford, and because of that train stop, values went up in that area as it was being built and developed. Make sure you ask your realtor not only about your home search, but provide insights perhaps into some upcoming neighborhood plans such as parks, transit improvements, commercial developments. These projects often signal future growth, could lead to substantial growth in your value for your home, depending. So by buying into a neighborhood before it becomes the next big thing or the next hot spot, you could position yourself for a large investment and rise in value in the years ahead. Now, it's so easy to just focus on the sale price only of a home when considering buying a property, but there are so many other costs that go along with that. From closing costs to ongoing maintenance, these expenses, they add up quickly. So again, it's essential to be prepared. Closing costs typically going to range from about 2 to 5% of the home's purchase price, and they can include things like title insurance, property taxes, attorney fees, and inspection fees. But again, it's important to make sure you're factoring in those closing costs into your budget when making sure that you can afford a home and it makes the most financial sense for you. So not only the closing costs at the time of purchase, but also don't forget about the costs of maintenance or the ongoing costs after you purchase that home. In addition to your mortgage, and those costs are going to include what's called PITI. It's an acronym standing for principal, insurance, taxes, and interest. You also need to account for utilities, maintenance costs, maybe HOA fees if you're in a condo or a townhome. Some homes in Boston, especially older ones, I mean, there's a lot of beautiful old colonial homes here in Boston, but you might require some upkeep or some renovations, landscaping costs. Maybe that roof needs to be repaired or that electrical system be upgraded. So just making sure you're being financially prepared for these additional expenses. It's going to help you manage your budget effectively. It's going to avoid any financial stress after the purchase. Having a clear understanding of those costs involved not only in buying that home, but owning the home is just going to set you up for success in the long run. So there are no surprises, and again, you know what you're getting into. You're financially prepared moving forward. Now, buying a home here in Boston in 2025, I know can seem overwhelming, but now with these tips, with these steps, you are now equipped with the knowledge to navigate the process with confidence. From understanding the market to making competitive offers, finding the right realtor, planning for the future, each step will help you bring you closer to your dream home. So if you're ready to start your home buying journey, I'd love to help you find your perfect home here in Boston. Don't hesitate to reach out either with any questions or if you're ready to start your home search today. Together, we can make this process as smooth and stress-free as possible. So click the link below to get in touch and let's start taking the first steps towards finding your dream home here in the Boston market. Thanks for watching, and I hope to welcome you to Boston sometime soon.